It always feels good when you are appreciated. SLT non-stop broadband. Free loyalty data added as you stay connected.
ලෙන්ගතුකම වැඩි කරගන්න ලව්ජු රුපියල් 50ට අඩු කළා.
මාමේ එන්න අපිට එකක් බොමු.
Tonight, new beginnings. Documents for the registering of the Sri Lanka Nidahas Podujana Sandhanaya handed over to Election Commission. Hidden hands. Dr. Palitha Kohuna says that LTTE sympathizers clearly behind Army Commander's US travel ban.
These allegations are mainly mounted by individuals or groups who were associated with the defeated LTTE. You need evidence, you need verified evidence.
Friend and benefits. US congressional delegation meets foreign minister and calls for furthering bilateral cooperation with Sri Lanka, an important strategic partner in Asia. Legal slap. Missouri court awards massive $265 million damages in lawsuit against chemical giants Bayer and BASF. All this and much more coming up this Monday, the 17th of February 2020.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9.
හැටනමයි 97ට SMS කර රුපියල් මිලියන 3ක මුල් තැන්ගේ උපකරණ දිනාගෙන අවුරුද්දෙම කුස්සිය ටයිම් සේව් කරගන්න.
Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
A very good evening and welcome to First at 9. I'm Shanella Fernando. Moving on to your top stories for tonight. Now, documents were handed over to the Election Secretariat today to officially register the much-awaited SLPP-SLFP alliance as the Sri Lanka Nidahas Podujana Sandhanaya. Speaking to media outside the Secretariat, Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna General Secretary Sagara Karyavasam revealed that Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has been named the alliance's leader, with the flower bud registered as the alliance's symbol.
News on the long-awaited SLPP-SLFP alliance came to light today following a multi-party delegation consisting of representatives of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party visiting the Election Secretariat to hand over documents for the official registering of the new alliance today. Speaking to media after submitting the documentation, SLPP General Secretary Sagara Karyavasam revealed that the new alliance is to be named the Sri Lanka Nidahas Podujana Sandhanaya. Attorney at law Karyavasam also revealed that the alliance is to be led by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, with former President Maithripala Sirisena given the post of alliance chairman.
ඉදිරි පාර්ලිමේන්තු මැතිවරණයේ විජයග්‍රහණය සඳහා සුවිශාල සන්ධානයක් අපි අද සඳහා අවශ්‍ය ලේඛන මැතිවරණ කොමිසමට බාර දුන්නා. මෙම සන්ධානය ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පොදුජන සන්ධානය නමින් නම් කරලා පාර්ලිමේන්තු මැතිවරණ පන්තියේ 8 ආභාගන්ති යටතේ අපි අදාළ ඉල්ලීම කළා තියෙනවා. මේ සන්ධානයේ නායක හැටියට ගරු මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාත්, සභාපතිවරයා හැටියට ගරු මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන මැතිතුමාත්, ඒ වගේම ප්‍රධාන ලේකම්වරයා හැටියට බැසිල් රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාත්, නියෝජ්‍ය සභාපතිවරයා හැටියට දිනේෂ් ගුණවර්ධන මැතිතුමාත් නම් කළා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම ජාතික සංවිධායක වරුන් හැටියට අපේ දයාසිරි ජයසේකර මැතිතුමාත්, ඒ වගේම විමල් වීරවංශ මැතිතුමාත් නම් කළා තියෙනවා. ඊට අමතරව උපලේකම්වරයෙක් හැටියට වරුන් හැටියටත් උදේ ගම්මන්පිල මැතිතුමා, ඒ වගේම උප සභාපතිවරුන් හැටියට තිස්ස විතාරණ මැතිතුමා, වාසුදේව නානායක්කාර මැතිතුමා, ඩිව් ගුණසේකර මැතිතුමා, නියෝජ්‍ය ලේකම්වරයා හැටියට මහින්ද අමරවීර මැතිතුමාත් නම් කළා තියෙනවා.
බලය ටික බෙදියාම කොහොම සන්ධානය තුල
නෑ, ඊටාම සමගියෙන් සියලු පක්ෂ සමග එකවන්ව අදාළ කටයුතු බොහොම ලොකු අවබෝධයකින් යුතුව සිදු කරමින් පවතිනවා.
හිටපු ජනාධිපතිවරයා ඉඳගෙනම හැමෝම එකට ඉන්න බලාපොරොත්තුවක් තියෙන කොහොමද ඒ කියන්නේ? ඒ තත්ත්වය කොහොමද කොයි විදිහට?
සියලු පක්ෂ බොහොම සමගියෙන් කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැතුව පොදු අරමුණක් වෙනුවෙන් වැඩ කටයුතු කරනවා.
ඒ කියන්නේ හරියට එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ සන්ධානය වගේමද මේක?
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ තියෙන්නේ ජයග්‍රහණය නොකරන සන්ධාන, අපි හදන්නේ ජයග්‍රහණය කරන සන්ධාන. ඒක තමයි ප්‍රධාන වෙනස.
ලකුණ ස්ථිරයිද?
ලකුණ පොහොට්ටුව ලකුණෙන් තරම් කරනවා අනිවාර්යයෙන්.
ඒ කියන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොදුජන පෙරමුණේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා තියෙච්ච සලකුණ.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොදුජන පෙරමුණේ සලකුණෙන් තමයි තරම් කරන්නේ.
යම් කිසි විදිහකින් නැවත කැඩුනොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ උතන?
නෑ, එහෙම වෙන්න හේතුවක් නෑ. ඔබතුමා අසුභවාදී විදියට හිතන්නේ වා. බොහොම සුභවාදී ගමනක් අපි යන්නේ.
පක්ෂේ සලකුණ සන්ධානයකට ගත්තාම පොඩ්ඩක් අවුල් වෙනවා. දැන් හරියට අර අලියගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ දැන් උතන එන්න පුළුවන් නේ.
එවැනි ප්‍රශ්න ඇති නොවන විදිහට තමයි අපි මේ සන්ධාන නිර්මාණය කරලා තියෙන්නේ.
අද අපි ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පොදුජන සන්ධානය කියන දේශපාලන සන්ධානය ලියාපදිංචි කිරීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන ඉල්ලීම ඉදිරිපත් ඉදිරිපත් කළා. ඒ අනුව ශ්‍රී ලංකා පොජන පෙරමුණත් ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය ඇතුළු තවත් පක්ෂ 9ක් ඒකාබද්ධ වෙලා මේ සන්ධානයට අපි ඇතුළත් වෙලා තිබෙන්නේ. ඒ අනුව ඉදිරියේදී ඉදිරි ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ගන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඒ සන්ධානයේ සියලුම පක්ෂ රැස් වෙලා ඒ අවශ්‍ය කරන පියවර ගන්න අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
ඒක ඔබතුමාලා පොහොත් වෙන්නේ
ඒක තමයි අපිට අනාගතයේ වැඩ පිළිවෙල සකස් කරන්න වෙන්නේ. තාම මේ සාකච්ඡා ක්‍රියාත්මක කරගෙන යනවා.
ඒ කියන්නේ අවසර ලැබුණා කියන එකද කියන්නේ මේ අවස්ථාව ලැබුණා.
අපි බාර දුන්නා. මොකද හේතුව දැන් මේක හරියට අර දෙමළ සන්ධානය වගේ. ඒ කියන්නේ දෙමළ ජාතික සන්ධානයත් විවිධ පක්ෂ ඔක්කොම එකට එකතු කරගත්ත සන්ධානයක් විදිහට තමයි යන්නේ. ඒ ක්‍රියාදාමය තමයි ඉදිරියට ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ. අනුව අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඊටාම ඉක්මනින් සන්ධානයේ නිලතල ටික පත් කර ගැනීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය කරන සාකච්ඡාව තියන්නත්. මම හිතන්නේ දැනට අපි ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තිබෙන යෝජනාවලියේ ඒ ක්‍රියාදාමයන් සියල්ල සඳහන් කරලා තිබෙනවා.
ඔය සන්ධානයේදී අර සමසභාපතිත්වයට අර එහෙම මොනක් වෙනවද?
නෑ නෑ ඒක ගැන කිසි ගැටලුවක් නෑ. ඒවා ඔක්කොම කතා කරලා තිබෙනවා.
ප්‍රමුඛ
පක්ෂය පොජන පෙරමුණ ඉතින් ඒකනේ ප්‍රධාන පක්ෂය.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය දෙවන ස්ථානයට අත්සන් කරා. ඒ කියන්නේ පළවෙනි ස්ථානය පොජන පෙරමුණ, දෙවන ස්ථානය ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය, තෙවන ස්ථානය මහජන එක්සත් පෙරමුණ, හතරවෙනි ස්ථානය කොමියුනිස්ට් පක්ෂය, සම සමාජ පක්ෂය මේවා ඔක්කොම එකට එකතු වෙලා තමයි ඊළඟට ආවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ.
Sri Lanka continues to express objection over the decision made by the United States to ban entry to Commander of the Army and Acting Chief of Defence Staff, Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva and his immediate family, citing human rights violations. Speaking on the matter to First at 9, former UN Permanent Representative to Sri Lanka, Dr. Palitha Kohona, expressed surprise over the move based on unverified information mounted by associates or sympathizers of the defeated terror group, the LTTE. Citing human rights violations, the US State Department imposed sanctions on Army Commander and Acting Chief of Defence Staff Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva on Friday, barring him and members of his immediate family from entering the United States. The government hit back at the announcement on Saturday, stating that it strongly objected to the move that was based on independently unverified information. Summoning the US Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Elena B. Teplitz, Minister of Foreign Affairs Dinesh Gunawardena expressed strong objection to the move, adding that it has potential to unnecessarily complicate bilateral ties between Sri Lanka and the United States. Meanwhile, several parties, including the Centre for People's Responsibility and the Organisation of Truth Seekers, handed epistles to the US Embassy in Colombo in protest of the decision to ban the Army Commander from entering the United States. Representatives of the Sinhalese organisation too expressed their objection by wearing black masks. Meanwhile, a number of factions weighed in on the matter.
ඇමරිකාව මෙවැනි තහනමක් පනවන්න ශවේන්ද්‍ර සිල්වා මැතිතුමා මොන අධිකරණයේද යුද අපරාධයක් සිදු කිරීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් වැරදිකරු වුණේ ශවේන්ද්‍ර සිල්වා මැතිතුමාට පමණක් ගමන් තහනමක් පනවන්න එතුමා තනියෙන් කළ යුද අපරාධයේ කුමක්ද ඇමරිකාව මේ ප්‍රශ්නවලට අපිට පිළිතුරු ලබා දිය යුතුයි
මෙවැනි කාරණයක් විසඳාගත යුත්තේ රාජතාන්ත්‍රික ක්‍රියාවලියට සමගාමීවයි ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී පිළිගත් රටක ජාත්‍යන්තර වශයෙන් පැන නගින කරුණු සාකච්ඡා මාර්ගයෙන් විසඳාගත යුතුයි එතකොට ඒ අනුව රජය දැනට ඒ ගැන කටයුතු කරමින් ඉන්නවා
I'm a little surprised, confused in fact, that the US should have taken this action just at this moment. First and foremost, the US and Sri Lanka are friends. We work very closely with each other. The US normally takes actions of this nature against strategic competitors, hostile countries, or individuals working for those countries. But none of those criteria seem to apply to this particular instance. The appointment of the general is a domestic matter. Where will the line be drawn when some external force gets upset about it? There are allegations, and these allegations are mainly mounted by individuals or groups who were associated with the defeated LTTE. It's part of our legal culture that nobody is convicted on the basis of allegations. You need evidence, you need verified evidence. In this particular instance, sadly, they had the general being taken to task on the basis of a range of unverified allegations that have been raised by individuals who have either been part of the defeated LTT or its sympathizers.
Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena today met with a visiting US congressional delegation where the subject of the travel ban on Sri Lanka's Army Commander Lieutenant Shavendra Silva was brought up. Congressman Amy Beira and George Holding promised to convey the Sri Lankan government's strong objection to the move to the US Congress after urging the furthering of bilateral ties and calling Sri Lanka an important strategic partner in Asia.
Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena met today with the visiting US congressional delegation comprising of the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Asia, the Pacific and Non-Proliferation, Congressman Amy Beira, and member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Budget Committee and Ethics Committee, Representative George Holding. The two representatives of the Congress articulated the strong desire of the government of the United States to advance the multifaceted relationship with Sri Lanka as an important strategic partner of the USA. Noting the importance of enhancing economic cooperation between the two countries, Representative Beira and Representative Holding expressed the willingness of the US side to increase foreign direct investment in both countries, recognizing Sri Lanka's strategic geographic position in the world map. They also emphasized the importance of enhancing maritime cooperation with the island. The minister reiterated the government's strong objections on the recent imposition of travel restrictions on Commander of the Army and Acting Chief of Defence Staff Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva and his immediate family, and asked that the United States review its decision. He emphasized the importance of continuing defence cooperation and observed the need to overcome such hindrances without causing embarrassment to either party. The delegation took note of the concerns and informed that they would convey these sentiments to the US Congress. The delegation was joined at the discussions by US Ambassador Alaina Teplitz, along with Foreign Secretary Ravinada Arya Singha and Director General North America Darshana M. Pereira.
The preliminary report of the committee appointed to study the MCC agreement has been handed over to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Presidential Secretariat this afternoon. The full report of the study is due to be submitted within 4 months' time.
A cabinet decision was taken to adopt the Millennium Challenge Compact Agreement on 18 December 2019. Subsequently, a 4-person committee was appointed by the President to study the agreement effective from 1st January. The committee, chaired by Professor Lalit Siri Gunarwan, also consists of former Secretary to the Ministry of Transport Dr. D.S. Jayavira, President's Counsel Nihal Jayawardena and Chartered Architect Nalaka Jayavira. The President's media unit in a statement said that the committee is seeking an independent professional analysis on the agreement and is currently conducting an extensive investigation into its details.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the opportunity for the opposition to obstruct the nation's development process is bound by a limited time constraint, given that the dissolution of Parliament is set for the beginning of March in preparation for the parliamentary elections. Addressing the opening ceremony of the Atampitiya water supply project, the Prime Minister stated that a strong government that works for the people will be created following the elections that will exclude those intent on political revenge. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa declared open the Atampitiya water supply project in Haliala this morning. The main aim of the project is to provide purified drinking water to the people in the area. The project will benefit about 15,000 families in 12 Grama Seva divisions.
අපි එක්තරා අවස්ථාවකදී පාරවල් ටික හැදුවා. ගම්වල පාරවල් ටික හැදුවා වගේම දැන් අපේ බලාපොරොත්තුව තමයි මුල් තැන බීමට ජලය මුළු රටේ ජනතාවට ලබා දීමේ වගකීම. මේ ආණ්ඩුවේ ජනාධිපතිවරයා පත් වෙලා තියෙනවා. අපි අගමැති වුණා. නමුත් පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තුල අපි සුළුතරයක්. දැන් අපි හෙට පනතක් ගේනවා. ඒ පනත ගෙනාවම මේ ණය තියෙන වේරන්න විපක්ෂයට පුළුවන් ඕන නම් ඒක පරද්දන්න. අපිට කරන්න දෙයක් නෑ මොකද අපේ ඉන්න ප්‍රමාණය අඩුයි. පැරද්දුවම රටේ සංවර්ධනයේ ඉදිරි ගමනට බාධා කරන්න යාලට පුළුවන්. ඉතින් යාලා පටු විදියට හිතුවොත් මේ අපි මානසික සන්තෝෂයක් ලබන්න අපි මෙයාලා පරද්දලා ගම මැතිවරණයට යනවා කියලා කියන්න හිතාගත්තොත් එයාලට පුළුවන් ඒක කරන්න. හැබැයි ඒ වළක්වන්න පුළුවන්ොත් ටික කාලයයි. මොකද හෙට පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තියලා දවස් 2ක් තමයි 3ක් තමයි අපි පාර්ලිමේන්තුව තියන්නේ. මාර්තු මාසේ පළවෙනි අවස්ථාවක් අපිට එනවා විසුරුවන්න. ලැබිච්ච පළවෙනි අවස්ථාවේදීම විසුරුවන්න තමයි අපි ජනාධිපතිතුමාට උපදෙස් දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ අපේ ඇමති මණ්ඩලය. අපි මහමැතිවරණයට මුහුණ දීලා අපි ඉතා ඉක්මනින් ජයග්‍රහණය කරලා රටේ ඉදිරි ගමන ගෙනියන්න වැඩ කරන ආණ්ඩුවක් පිටවන්න. වැඩ නොකර කයිවාරු ගහගා පලිගන්න ආණ්ඩුවක් නෙවෙයි.
Former Sri Lankan ambassador to Russia, Udayanga Weeratunga, was further remanded until the 26th of February by the Colombo Fort magistrate when he was presented in the court this afternoon. Weeratunga faces charges of embezzlement and money laundering in connection with the purchase of MiG fighter jets for the Sri Lankan Air Force.
Former Sri Lankan ambassador to Russia, Udayanga Weeratunga, was arrested by the CID on arrival at the Bandaranaike International Airport on Friday for the embezzlement of public funds and money laundering amounting to $7.83 million and the procurement of MiG aircraft. Following interrogation by the CID, Weeratunga was then produced before the Colombo Fort Magistrates Court, who ordered the former ambassador to be remanded till the 17th of February. Accordingly, the former ambassador was produced before the Colombo Fort Magistrates Court this afternoon. Deputy Solicitor General Tusit Mudalige told court that the defendant was being charged under sections 454, 457 and 400 of the Penal Code as well as sections 8 of the Public Property Act. Colombo Fort Magistrate Ranga Disanaika informed Deputy Solicitor General Mudalige that a certificate must be presented to court signed by a superintendent of police or an official of a higher designation when presenting a suspect under the section stated for committing a crime resulting in a financial loss higher than Rs 25,000. Following this, President's counsel Anil Silva, appearing for the defendant, moved the court to grant bail to his client under the Bail Act, given that the prosecution was unable to produce the necessary documentation. Fort Magistrate Ranga Disanaika responded saying that considering the severity of the charges, bail could not be issued as such a move could result in public outrage. Bail was thereby denied and the former ambassador was ordered to be further remanded till the 26th of February.
Speaking on the current crisis within the UNP, General Secretary Akila Viraj Karyavasam says that the final decision as to what the party's symbol will finally end up being is to be decided on Wednesday, with a high possibility of the symbol being either the swan or the elephant. Meanwhile, UNP MP Vajira Abewardena says that the elephant symbol belongs to the United National Party and that they are not willing to auction it to anyone else.
කෘත්‍යාධිකාරී මණ්ඩලයේ බදාදා තියෙනවා. අපි හැමෝම එකඟ වෙලා ලකුණත් බේරගෙන නායකයෝ ටිකත් බේරගෙන පක්ෂෙත් බේරගෙන කැඩෙන්නේ නැති වෙන්න අපි වැඩේ කරන්න. කොහොම වුණත් අලියා නැත්තම් හංසයා තමයි එන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාව. ඒක අපි තීරණය කරනවා මේ බදාදාට කෘත්‍යාධිකාරී මණ්ඩලයෙන්. අලියා සලකුණේ මේ පාර ඡන්දයට ඉදිරිපත් වුණොත් ලෑන්ඩ් තියෙන ඡන්ද පොත්සතිය වැඩි කරගන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාවක් තියෙනවා නේද?
දැනට පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඉන්න ද්‍රවිඩ මුස්ලිම් මහජන නියෝජිතයන් අලිය ලකුණ යටතේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුව නියෝජනය කරන්නේ. අත් වශයෙන් මම මේක තාම ගැටලුවක් දකින්නෙත් නැහැ. කාණ්ඩායම් දෙයක් අදහස් කියනවා. අවසානයේ නිවැරදිදී ස්ථාවර ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී සියලු දෙනාගේ හඬට ඇහුම්කන් දිය යුතුයි. හැබැයි බහුතරයේ මතයට අවසානයේ හිස නැමිය යුතුයි. තුලුතරයක් වෙනත් ක්‍රමයකට කල්පනා කරනවා නම් දේශපාලන පක්ෂ පාලනය කරන්න. එය ඉඩ දිය හැකි කාරණයක් නෙමෙයි.
හංසයන් ඉල්ලන්න කටයුතු කරලා තියෙනවනේ.
මට ඒ ගැන දැනට මොකුත් කියන්න බෑ. මොකද කමිටුවක් සාකච්ඡා කරමින් තියෙනවා. කමිටුවේ අවසන් තීරණයක් ගත යුතුයි. කමිටුවට තීරණ ගන්න බෑ ව්‍යවස්ථාවට පරිබාහිරව.
ආයතනවල දෙන්න බෑ කියලා කියනවා නේද? අලියා.
කොයි දේශපාලන පක්ෂයේ තවන්ගේ සලකුණ දෙන්න බෑ. ඒතර පක්ෂයක් නැහැ නේ. ඒක අලියා ඒක අපේ පක්ෂයේ සලකුණ එය කොහෙටවත් උගස් තියන්න බෑ.
දැන් ලාංඡනයේ පිළිබඳවත් විවිධ මත මාධ්‍ය වලින් අපේම අය විවිධ මත ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා. කාටත් අයිතිය තියෙනවා ඒ ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න. නමුත් දැන් වෙනකොට ඒ මතභේදත් ඔක්කොම අවසන් වෙලා ගිය සතියේ සාකච්ඡාවකදී අවසන් තීරණයකට ආවා. කාටත් එකඟ වෙන්න පුළුවන් ලකුණකින් අපි ඉදිරිපත් වෙනවා කියලා.
අලියා ලකුණ සතුටින් දෙනවා නම් අපි බාර ගන්න කැමතියි. මොකද අලියා ලකුණ අවුරුදු 70ක් මෙරටේ දේශපාලනයේ තිබිච්ච මිනිසුන්ට හුරු වෙච්ච ඉතාම ගෞරවනීය දේශපාලන ලකුණක්. අලියා ලකුණ දෙන්න අකමැත්තක් තිබෙනවා නම් අපි ස්ථීරවම වෙනත් ලකුණකින් තරම් කරනවා. දැන් ගිය සතිය වෙනකොට හංසයා ලකුණ පිළිබඳව යෝජනාව ඉදිරිපත් වුණා. හංසයා ලකුණ අපි අලුත් සංධානයේ ලකුණ හැටියට ස්ථීරව ලබා දෙනවා නම් අපි හංසයා ලකුණටත් එකඟයි. මේ දෙකම කරන්නේ නැත්නම් අලුත්ම ලකුණක් හදවත ලකුණෙන් ඉස්සරහට යන්න අපි ලෑස්ති.
Rifkan Badiuddin, brother of former Minister Rishad Badiuddin, who was arrested and remanded for forging documents to alienate a 40-acre property, was granted bail by the Colombo Magistrates Court today. The case was taken up before Colombo Chief Magistrate Lanka Jaratna, who then granted bail to the defendant on cash bail of Rs 25,000 and two personal sureties of Rs 500,000 after a report presented by the CID was taken into consideration. While the former Northern Provincial Council member Rifkan Badiuddin was ordered to report to the CID every Sunday, he was also barred from leaving the country. The next hearing of the case was set for the 20th of February. China's National Health Commission placed the latest death toll from the COVID-19 outbreak in mainland China at 1,770 as of yesterday, up by 105 from the previous day, while the new total of infections stand at 70,548. China, however, announced a significant drop in the number of new cases, pointing out that the number of overnight deaths and infections are slowing down. With the entire world focused on China's efforts response to the economic shock caused by the outbreak, Beijing has introduced a stimulus package that includes a key interest rate cuts as it attempts to bolster the economy. The Chinese National Health Commission announced that the proportion of severe and critical cases of COVID-19 among all confirmed cases has decreased significantly in China. According to a spokesperson, the proportion in other parts of Hubei province also dropped from a peak of 18.4% on the 27th of January to 11.1% on February 15th. The percentage in other provinces in China also decreased significantly, falling from a peak of 15.9% on January 27th to 7.2% on February 15th. Another significant point is that recoveries are rising, with 1,425 reported within the past 24 hours.
必要的话就到发热门诊来治疗了。
目前，武汉市按照国家省市联。
China today said it may postpone its annual Congress in March, its biggest political meeting of the year, as the government races to contain the fast-spreading epidemic. The Standing Committee of China's National People's Congress will convene next week to consider the postponement, along with proposed legislation to tighten restrictions on the trade and consumption of wildlife.
斗争是一场总体战。
According to reports, it has been another strong day for global stock markets as investors cheered a signal that Beijing was likely to ramp up stimulus measures to help protect the world's second-largest economy from the worst impact of the outbreak. European stocks rose with the composite Stoxx 600 index up 0.2% in late morning trading. Car manufacturers, which are exposed to the Chinese market, led the way as the index tracking automobiles and associated part makers rose 1.7%. The CSI 300 of Shanghai and Shenzhen listed shares closed 2.3% higher, meaning it has now recovered all of the sharp sell-offs it suffered following the extended Lunar New Year's holiday in early February. The managing director of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, says the coronavirus epidemic could damage global economic growth this year, but a sharp and rapid economic rebound could follow.
What we face is still a high degree of uncertainty. We are at the point of making scenarios, not projections. And in that scenarios world, we have to be careful not to compare too much to SARS, which is our reference point, because this virus is different. China in the early 2000s was 8% of the world economy. Now it is 19%. Therefore, a spillover from China integrated, especially in Asia, but also with the rest of the world, is much more significant. And the world economy, unfortunately, in the 2000s was in quite good shape and now sluggish.
Meanwhile, Japan, the second most affected country by COVID-19, has cancelled public celebrations of Emperor Naruhito's birthday amid virus fears. Japanese officials have confirmed 99 more people infected by the new virus aboard the quarantine cruise ship Diamond Princess, bringing the total to 454. The ministry has been carrying out tests on passengers and crew members on the ship, docked in Yokohama, a port city near Tokyo. We'll return after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back in your business news. The Monetary Board of the Central Bank has decided to extend the suspension of business activities of Pan Asia Bank's primary dealer unit for a further 6-month period with effect from 15th February. The decision by the Central Bank was made acting in terms of the regulations made under the Registered Stocks and Securities Ordinance and the Local Treasury Bills Ordinance. The extension of the suspension was made in order to continue the investigations being conducted by the central bank. In a statement on the central bank website, the Monetary Authority stated that it wishes to emphasize that this regulatory action suspends PABC's access to the primary auctions for government securities and it does not affect any of the other activities of services of the bank. Now, one of the world's largest pharmaceutical and herbicide companies in the world, Bayer along with BASF, the largest chemical company in the world, have been ordered to pay a Missouri peach farmer a staggering $265 million in damages by a jury as the outcome of lawsuit over claims that a herbicide manufactured by the two companies resulted in large-scale crop destruction. The landmark judgment is set to be appealed by the two companies, who look to face at least 140 similar cases in the U.S. courts this year. A Missouri jury's $265 million award to peach grower Bill Bader in his lawsuit against herbicide providers Bayer and BASF has raised the stakes for the two companies as at least 140 similar cases heading to U.S. courts later this year. A jury in U.S. District Court in Cape Girardeau, Missouri handed Bader, the state's largest peach farmer, $15 million in actual damages and $250 million in punitive damages. Bader sued the company, saying his 1,000-acre orchard was irreparably harmed by herbicide produced by the two companies, which drifted onto his trees from nearby farms. The 3-week trial was the first case in the United States to rule on the use of dicamba-based herbicides alleged to have damaged tens of thousands of acres of U.S. cropland. Farmers have claimed that the herbicide vapors can drift for miles on the wind when used in certain weather conditions. Bayer and BASF stated that they are disappointed with the jury's verdict and plan to appeal the decision. Sri Lankan stocks closed 0.26% lower today, continuing a retreat for the 7th day, dragged down by distilleries, Central Finance and TJ Lanka. The all-share price index closed 14.94 points down at 5,814.27. The S&P SL20 index of more liquid stocks closed 0.16% or 4.41 points down at 2,768.85. Market turnover was 439.94 million rupees, where 54 stocks gained and 83 fell. Here's a brief report on today's market performance.
In the bond market, the secondary market yield curve shifted slightly upwards, with selling from both local and foreign counterparties. Overall market witnessed limited activities with thin volumes during the day. In the equity market, both ends in red for the 7th session, mainly on the price losses made by distilleries and seafood. Parcel trades made in commercial, Sampath and Access constitute 25% of the day's turnover.
Sri Lankan rupee ended weaker at 181 rupees and 50 to 60 cents to the US dollar in the spot market today, while the bonds yield gained. However, the rupee closed weaker at 181 rupees and 45 to 52 cents to the greenback last Friday. With that, let's now take a look at how the Sri Lankan rupee traded against other major currencies today. International and sports news on the other side of this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In your international news, residents of the besieged city of Aleppo in Syria celebrated on the streets and waved flags after the Syrian government regained control of the city from rebels yesterday. Syrian government forces made significant gains on Sunday in northwest Aleppo province after driving out insurgents from the key M5 highway that links the city to the capital Damascus. The capture of the highway now reopens the fastest route between Syria's two largest cities for the first time in years, completing a major strategic accomplishment for the Syrian government. The Syrian government's recent advances in the northwestern region of the country have upset fragile cooperation between Ankara and Moscow, which back opposing factions in the conflict but have collaborated towards a political solution to the nearly 9-year war. On Sunday, Russian warplanes mounted heavy airstrikes in the Aleppo province, bombing towns including Anadan, which was later seized by Syrian forces supported by Iranian-backed militia activities reported. Isipatana College, Colombo bagged the Abdul Jabbar Shield for the 15th consecutive time, defeating Thurston College 24-6 last evening at the Royal College Sports Complex. At the commencement of the game, Chamud Kalhara scored a penalty, giving an early lead to the Thurston College. However, Surya Dodangoda scored the first try for Isipatana College, surpassing the Thurston score. Further, Lahiru Bandara and Venuja Silva maintained to score tries in the first half of the game, adding more points to the Isipatana College scoreboard. With that, we wrap up tonight's edition of First at 9. Thank you for joining. I'm Shanella Fernando. Good night.